For today's lean tip, I'm actually going to take you to Chick-Fil-A because Chick-Fil-A has something to teach us about lean manufacturing. Now, how this came about is I had the first of a lifetime experience of going to Chick-Fil-A for Cow Appreciation Day. Maybe it's new to you, it was new to me. I had no idea that every year there's people that go to Chick-Fil-A on this day and they dress up as cows to be rewarded with a free chicken sandwich. So my wife lassoed myself and my daughter into dressing up as cows. We went there and got our free sandwich. And while I was there in line, I couldn't help but think of some lean thoughts about how things were being accomplished and how fast things were being done, because there were a ton of people in that line. So why don't I start off by showing you some of the craziness on that day. It was a blast and a lot of fun. I do recommend that you try it next chance that you get. But then I'll connect it to lean manufacturing and what we can learn from what was happening at Chick-Fil-A this year. So here is my local Chick-Fil-A, and as you can see, things got pretty crazy. The line was out the door, and everyone was showing their appreciation for cows and being rewarded with chickens. I don't know who does their marketing, but apparently that works. And just so you don't think that I didn't show my own appreciation on Cow Appreciation Day, here's the proof. Okay, so how does this relate to lean? Well, I got to thinking as I was standing in line and wanted to know how fast things were moving. So as I waited to order, I counted how many people were in line. There were 75, and that's not including the drive-thru. I also timed how long it took to get our food, which was approximately 17 minutes. Then, if you use something called Little's Law, you can calculate that Chick-fil-A was serving about 4.4 customers a minute. If you invert that number, you'll find that they were serving on average one customer every 13.6 seconds. Okay, so where do we go from here? Well, basically the 13.6 seconds is a measurement of what's called cycle time. It's how much time there is between each completed order. So every 13.6 seconds, another order is completed. Now, customer demand may be more than the team's output, but regardless, 13.6 seconds is their performance in what I measured. So what lean will do for us is answer questions like this. How fast do we need to work to meet customer demand? And how do we design our work processes so we can be the most productive? Now, for simplicity's sake, let's say that a customer is walking into Chick-fil-A every 10 seconds. That's customer demand. That's how quickly we need to be able to serve a customer in order to keep up with the inflow of customers into the restaurant. Now, a quick side note here, if these kind of metrics are new to you, what we're not saying is that a customer will only wait for 10 seconds total before they get their order. That would be a dream. But instead, what we're saying is that the restaurant has to complete an order every 10 seconds. So every 10 seconds, a name is called and a sandwich is delivered on a tray. The customer who receives it may have been waiting longer than 10 seconds, but the restaurant itself is outputting an order every 10 seconds. So what we can do is we can actually measure the different steps required to complete an order. And I've come up with these arbitrarily to cook the filet, assemble the sandwich, fry the fries, package the meal, and deliver the meal. I have no idea what these times are in real life. I've just made up some for the sake of this illustration. Now, customer demand, which is also known as tack time, is 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds, we need to be completing an order. So let's say that we take a stopwatch and measure how much time it takes to complete each step in the process. Cooking the filet takes 4 seconds, assembling the sandwich takes 9, the fries 4, packaging 5, and delivering the meal 8. Well, what our team needs to be achieving is delivering a sandwich every 10 seconds. So actually, the difference here is idle time. It's wasted time in that there's spare time left over in each operation that's actually wasteful. We could be more productive if we think about our process in another way. And in fact, if you do a little bit more math with these numbers, you'll find out that we only have a 60% total labor utilization. What that means is that we're only utilizing our people 60% to their capacity. They could actually be achieving a lot more. We're going to reorganize this process so that we might combine some activities so we're more productive and still accomplishing every operation within 10 seconds, which is the takt time, the customer demand. So why don't we take fry the fries, because cooking the filet and frying the fries can all happen in the same time and place in one fryer anyway. So we're going to combine those and you'll see this. Now that one employee that's cooking the filet and fries can do both of those activities in just 8 seconds. There's still 2 seconds of idle time, but regardless, we're being more productive. Now, if you're nervous and wondering about what happened to employee 3, well, in Lean, we don't lay off and fire people. That's absolutely not necessary. Instead, we know that there's always work to be done in a business, and especially if we're valuing continuous improvement. And people that make their work processes better and more efficient can be rewarded with more opportunities and things to do. So at this point, we've made some improvement to our process, but I think it can be taken a little bit further. Now, we can't fit any 2 of these together so that we're still underneath 10 seconds. However, if we apply some other lean thinking to maybe packaging the meal and delivering the meal, if we can shorten the amount of process time required to do each of those activities, it might be able to be accomplished by just one person. So let's do that. Let's apply some lean thinking and try and improve these process times. Let's say it comes down to this: 4 seconds for packaging and 6 seconds for delivering the meal. Now, we can combine these 2. And this is our final process. We've reorganized the workload so that altogether, our total labor utilization is 90% now. The team is far more productive and efficient than before. This doesn't mean that they're working at a punishing speed. And no, they're just working at a good, normal, safe pace, but their workload is matched to the customer demand so that there isn't time being wasted. Okay, I've gone over a lot in this lean tip, talked about a lot of different terms and ways to think about applying lean manufacturing to a restaurant in this situation. And really what it comes down to is this is how we're all able to eat more chicken. Now, I don't know if that will keep you lean, even though Chick-fil-A is one of the healthier fast food restaurants out there, but regardless, we do love chicken and you can eat more of it if you practice lean. For more lean tips and sound advice for your lean journey, visit us at leansmarts.com.